Not my circus, not my monkey, but I know all the clowns and they looking real spunky. Yeah, the 8-8, you back in town. Trying to game the system, trying to take the crown. They want that viral dance and the flash, but they can't move right, they just want the cash. Yeah, they prance, yeah, they play while the real ones pay every single day. Look at the ringmasters sitting in the shade, living off the profits that the real talent made. They ain't got rhythm, they ain't got soul, just a pile of weak moves trying to lose control. Scared of the future, scared of the grind, left their dignity and their morals behind. Built that fake gold tower, wall to wall, but they can't talk slick when the curtains fall. Daddy bought the whistle, mommy bought the court, still can't buy respect in the real damn sport. All that smiling for the camera, all that staged up talk, but the work don't lie when the pressure walk.
I see the strings, I see the grin, I see the same old scheme trying to pull me in. Keep your pageant,
Keep your crown when the truth rolls up, it's tearing that down. Not my circus, not my monkey, but I know all the clowns and they looking real spunky. Yeah, the 8-8, you back in town. Trying to game the system, trying to take the crown. They want that viral dance and the flash, but they can't move right, they just want the cash. Yeah, they prance, yeah, they play while the real ones pay every single day. New suit, same trick, same old grin, same backroom handshake, same paper thin win. They parade through the halls with the polished lie, then act surprised when the good ones dry. Real kids starving for a shot to breathe, while the fake ones scheming a shameless thief. Every little favor got a hidden cost, every trophy polished by the time they lost. You can keep your mascot, keep your little show. I seen the bookie signs and the dominoes. One day truth knocks hard, one day lights go cold, and every borrowed crown turns rusted gold.
ooh, the joke ain't funny
When the check gets due and the room gets muddy,
Ooh, you hear that sound?
that's the whole card house coming down. Not my circus, not my monkey, but I know all the clowns and they looking real spunky. Yeah, the 8-8, you back in town. Trying to game the system, trying to take the crown. They want that viral dance and the flash, but they can't move right, they just want the cash. Yeah, they prance, yeah, they play while the real ones rise every single day. Not my circus, nah, monkey. Let the clowns talk loud, the truth stay hungry.
Say it so. It's time again for the Warehouse 15. It must be Monday. Oops. It's Tuesday. Tuesday is Truth Day. It's the Truth Sayers, and we're here to help you understand why, where, and how. Oh, by the way, I heard that the president of the Kooky one was here, and I was invited to go down, and I said, no, thank you. But we'll get to that later. How are we doing today? Who's going to start us off?
What's up? I'm good. I'm good. Actually, like you said, we didn't get it going on Monday. I'm glad we made it on Tuesday.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got a surprise guest.
Yes.
Oh, no. He figured it out.
What's up,
I
sir?
don't have headphones.
You got your headphones?
So-
Do you have your earpods?
Yeah, but they're Apple, and this is a LG, so it doesn't like it.
Oh, you're on your computer. That's okay.
But
That's
anyway,
all
I can hear
good.
you guys. What's up? You're talking some shit about me.
Listen, man, I've been waiting for you to get out of this. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't talk shit about you.
It's time for the
Doesn't know what's
reckoning.
up, man. He's too old. He's out of the game.
Oh,
That is all true. It's all true, but I didn't say that. I'm not even thinking it because my surprise with Harry. Come on, don't blame young. Don't blame me, man. This guy talks more shit about you than you even know, man. I defend you left and right. Perez said you sucked. I said, how can you say that? I watched him personally kick you in the face in practice. He said never, ever.
Police. What?
first of all, none of that is true. I give him his props.
The '88 Olympic team.
That's
Tell
true.
that story, Herb.
There was a moment. He's actually responsible for me not making that team. He kicked
Steve
me
Young.
in. He kicked me in the face when we were warming up 5 times, not once, not twice.
You told me that. You
He
told me that.
couldn't. He couldn't find enough humility to not hurt me before I went. And he's like, "Dude," I'm like, "What? My hands down?" So I'm not blaming anybody because I accept the blame. But I'm just gonna say,
I was that pissed that I'd been politically excluded from those trials, right?
truth.
And the guy, Greg Baker, who I beat 4 times, went on Olympics and won a bronze medal. So
And there was this other young upstart.
DJ, that's my pain, man.
The
I'm
pain
carrying some
goes
pain.
on.
I feel it.
But there was
Hey,
this
if you
young
wouldn't understand
upstart
me,
that
that's-
ruined the day for everybody to start off. I can't remember what his name was. Juan Comepan. He upset the apple cart. He couldn't just do what he was supposed to do, just go quietly into the night. He had to
never
come
do.
out, and you had to change the world. So,
Yo, 40 fucking years later, I haven't changed. How about those apples?
dude. Well, I saw a picture of Daesung at the Kuki One President thing, so he must be rehabilitated. He had a suit on. He was standing there next to Lion Choi. But there's a lot of pain on this phone call that goes around. I'm just gonna say, no shortage of pain on this phone call. But some
Juan, Herb and I were talking about you yesterday. We were recounting that story that changed U.S. Taekwondo, man. Yeah, we were both in that room when your fight with Daesung ended in the 88 trials, and the Koreans were trying to figure out what the hell to do because you had won. But it's Daesung, right? So they had you guys sit in that ring for like 15, 20 minutes while they all huddled at their desk. And Herb and I are sitting there going, like, what are they going to do? Like, they're in a catch-22. They can't let Daesung lose, but they can't come back and raise his hand in front of everybody that just saw what happened. It was this moment of drama that I don't think has ever been surpassed in U.S. Taekwondo history. And when they raised that hand, I remember you jumped up and down like a little monkey. Because you couldn't believe they let you in, and Herb and I couldn't either. And we're like, oh man, this is epic. This is an epic, the end of an epic and the beginning of a new epic.
I think people always ask me about like what's your most important moment, and I always tell people that was a defining moment in my life because it literally changed the course of everything I would do, everything I would stand for. I mean, who knows what would have happened if I would have lost that? And
it's just one of those knife edge moments of history that could have gone either way, and thank God it went your way. But that didn't just change your life; that changed U.S. Taekwondo history, man. That was a historical moment.
Yeah,
in a sense, in a good way, because it showed that it was possible. It was doing the right thing was possible. I think the Koreans knew because they were, believe me, when they were held up at that table, they were trying to figure out every possible way to make that result go the other way. And they realized that there was just too many eyes on it, too many non-Koreans that wouldn't stand for it. And justice was served that day, thank God.
good stuff, man. Good stuff. I mean, and even, of course, I came out on top, but I think it gave me a strange voice, even at a young age, to kind of, I don't know, be my own unique self. Because I think that, I mean, when I looked at the teams before me, I think they all kind of were forced into one mold. You guys all had to act a certain way, stand a certain way, obey a certain way, even though you guys were so strong. But I was that weird kid on the 88 team that nobody knew and nobody really cared about. And then all of a sudden I get on the medal stand and have an interesting fight with the Korean. All that stuff combined just made for a special year. So,
well, you became iconic. You created new icons for the sport that we had that hadn't existed, right? You had your hair style, and you had,
Yeah.
you had your attitude, and you had your game, your unique game, and these all became iconic. People still talk about it, like you said, 40 years later.
Young.
So
I
your
remember
impact-
89. I had a little Batman patch, and I had Koreans throwing me Batman socks and Batman hats from the arena in Korea at the World Championships. Like, I had like weird fans from Korea. I had no idea who they were. It was crazy.
You,
I never had a
have
fan.
created an
Never had a fan.
iconography and new set of icons for the sport.
That's
Well, you
fun.
were a handsome little. You look like. You ever see Crazy Cat? You're too young, but there was a cartoon Crazy Cat, and he had a friend Ignatz, and you look like Ignatz with that haircut. But
Ignatz.
you had the right amount of confidence slash arrogance and humility, because you were always good with your seniors, at least in my experience. And I think that was a rare combination. People tend to mix those two up. But you messed a lot of people's nights up that night, including yours truly. But we could talk about that. I had my own share of my messing it up myself. But thanks for the gumball, Mickey.
But those were ultimately positive icons, right? And they did more good for the sport than, and there was a little bit of attitude. There was a little bit of you brought kind of an American flair to it, right? But you still paid your dues. You still were respectful. And I don't think that's possible in the sport now, especially in this media landscape, right? Where, likes and followers and all that are garnered through different methods. And like Herb complains about it. I'm not there. I don't know the people, so I don't talk any shit personally, but feather boas or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the icons are different now. And I think something was lost. Like what you did was very healthy for the sport. You brought some American individuality into it, but you still maintained the traditions as well. So I thought that was one of your biggest.
But I mean, I know it's a conversation for another day, but I think we talked about it at the last time, and I've said this many different times with the places that I've been and what I've tried to do with Brazil and blah blah blah. But the legacy has been lost in our country. There's no leadership. I was lucky to have people like Howard Young, Hanwan Lee was on the team, and even though we were training partners, I looked at him as a big brother. Even Daesung, right? He was Coach Lee to me. He was my enemy, but one of the most. I respected him so much as a coach and a leader. And those guys taught me how to act, and I kept everybody else in line that was around me and younger than me, and I just carried some of those traditions. So it's not there anymore. There's zero chance that anybody can teach anybody that.
Well, and I'll just say this on the air, and I feel strongly about it, but that ended with the Lopez's, and I was there for it. I told this story last time. I was there when they very overtly and intentionally told the U.S. team that we weren't going to do that. We weren't going to follow these rules. We weren't going to follow these traditions. That was for Koreans. We're not Koreans. That we can do whatever we want. We can be, as profane and as undisciplined as we want. We're Americans. And it's like that song by Don McLean. I was there the day the music died, and your cachet is that you're still respected for having navigated both those worlds. And I think that's why you're still sought out. It's not just for your technical acumen. It's also, I think, because, you're seen as a honest, steady hand on the rudder. And, I think that's why you still have currency in 40 years later.
Thank you.
T, I gotta go. I'm gonna let you guys do your thing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
I don't
stopping
wanna
by.
bite your mouth, but TJ,
Yes, sir.
you've been firing pearls, brother. You've been firing pearls, man. Your insights
Thank
I'm
you.
always impressed by him.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate you.
don't let these guys keep you down. You know.
No, we got to shoot another full
Nice.
episode. We got to then maybe the next one we'll do a whole one with all of us again.
I'm there anytime, but you let your freak flag fly, brother. You're not in anybody's shadow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Good night, sir.
Yeah. Bye,
Bye,
Bye
Hill.
guys. Miss you, everybody.
All right, he's out. All right,
That was
that was a surprise guest. Always good. We were chatting right before
Yeah.
this, and there's a story that I may have to tell that he told me, but we're going to wait and see if it resolves itself. It was an interesting story about juniors who conveniently forget their seniors and all the help that they received from the hands of the senior, and they conveniently remember the story differently. I had a junior once that was ass burnt over something I said, but he retold the story correctly. He actually told the story the way I said it, and then I had to call him up and say, dude, I never thought you felt that way about this thing. From time to time, you get people who remember history differently or what occurred to them, right? And Coach Moreno, you and I go back a long way. In 1987, there's a story about that night, and when you were just starting out, you were a junior in our world, and we did a bunch of stuff, and those are accurate stories whenever we tell them. But anyway, I'm gonna let that rest where it rests because it was not my story to tell. We'll see if it's handled the way it ought to be handled. But let's get back to what we do and how we do it. With who's starting us off today?
First of all, I'm just gonna give a quick little rundown. Listen, there's a couple hot topics that are just going right now. They're kind of close to us, more close to you, TJ, just because it's in your neck of the woods. I want to talk a little bit about the AAU and the North Carolina situation. I think that's popped up is pretty interesting. Definitely want to talk about some rumor mills that I've heard and some facts that have just kind of came in within our little world. But listen, obviously there's no. I know there was the time when you were thinking about running for that district chair, TJ, and we didn't really understand what was going on, but there was some talk in the audios about putting your resources behind you and helping you, and I don't think we've really understood that. And now we have, because recently I just saw a commercial right now, a Gatorade commercial, and there's a girl doing a Nanaban on it. Oh, that was cool. Well, I don't know. I just caught the end of it. There's an election going on, and within the last 48 hours, obviously, it must be like within the rules, but all these clubs have registered. And you'll remember back in the day when USTU, it used to be common for state presidents to get in the phone books or sign up all their students as members so they could have more votes and they could
or sign up fake clubs by himself.
Yes, and so I think what's happened, in a very short time frame, that right up to the deadline, there's been a number of these clubs, and according to the
18 new clubs in 48 hours before the deadline closes. 18.
And what makes a club is one person sets it up that has to have 5 members. That's all you have to do. But that's not a problem. What I have a problem with, and TJ, you can help me out on this because I know you know a little bit more details. The problem I have is when one person makes more than one club. Young, so check this out. I can make a club for my Poomsae team, for my sparring team, and for
in one building.
How about probably no buildings, because none of these
how about no buildings?
The names of some of these clubs, they don't exist, or they overlap each other. They're the same thing. And from the list from the people that I've seen so far, when I looked at it, I mean, it's one person with 4 different clubs. It's young kids, 18, 19, 20-year-olds with 4 different clubs that don't coach, don't teach, don't have anything to do with it, and they've been kind of manipulated and thrown into this system. And like just think about that. 18 new clubs in 48 hours. 18 new Taekwondo clubs.
So TJ, I'm going to ask you the question, and I know the answer. Like, so do you believe that these people, these kids, as you call them, which they are, teenagers basically, they have this thought process of like, you know what? I want to really be involved in North Carolina AAU politics, and I have this burning desire? Or Are they being told to do it, led to do it, forced to do it? Like
They're
they
being
never.
told to do it, led to do it, and they're probably being told a side of the story that makes sense, or like, oh well, it's this, and we want to do this, and we'll do this, and this will be so great, and all these things. But like, they've been put in a situation where they're literally a part of voter fraud. Like, it's literally a form of just fraud. We're creating. Think about that, coach. I keep saying a number because it's crazy to me. 18 new clubs in this area in the last 48 hours before the cutoff closed. 18.
It's crazy for me because like I would think that again, I don't know the rules and regulations, but I would think that they would have to have be an LLC, being incorporated, have an actual business or have a building. You know what I'm saying? But obviously the restrictions or the standards are obviously less for this style of voting. But I want to go to the leadership. Like this is what we're doing. This is the people.
This is who
This
we want to
is
vote in. This is who we want to vote in.
like as a human being, as a man, as a woman, as a martial artist. You telling me you're gonna get some kid to open up 4 clubs only for the sole purpose of them voting for you? Like, what kind of leader is that? What kind of person is that? What kind of human being is that? Like, that's it's unethical. It's unmoral.
And I
Like for
follow
me,
suit with the rest of these guys.
well, that's where I was gonna go with this. What we got going here?
Not
What's
my
up, Steph?
circus, not my monkeys, but I definitely know all the clowns.
That's a great shirt.
I got a feeling, I can't be certain, but I got a feeling there's going to be a new, by the end of it, but before the sun sets in San Francisco, there'll be a new shirt on the website, people.
TJ, this is going. Now I'm going to go back to that audio that we had when we heard this young man, talking about how you will win the election. You will win the election. Like when that was said, to be honest with you, I didn't know what it really meant. You know what I'm saying? I kind of had an idea, but we will put all our resources behind you. You will win. And it was said over and over and over. And now we see what they're talking about. For some reason, they did you a listen. For some reason, they don't want this guy, Mr. Abdul, there. I have no idea what he did or what he didn't do or what the reason is. But they asked Mr. Posey, and now they're down to this guy, Husky. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that, like, I don't know if you could follow a money trail. Like, did these kids, I don't even know how much it costs to have a club. I know early on, a long
It's
time ago, I had
irrelevant. I just again either it was them trying to be sneaky or lazy, and I'm gonna go with lazy because that's just how I feel about this whole thing. You wait till 48. You don't even care what it looks like. 48 hours before it
yeah.
closes, you add 18 clubs. You don't
They
even
don't care what it looks like because nobody's watching. Nobody watches the
Well, people are
AAU.
watching.
They're an unfettered, unregistered, unmattering group. They're not part of the Olympic movement, and they barely watch the organization that's part of the Olympic movement. So of course these clowns think they can do what they want because nobody's holding them accountable. You got to get somebody that's willing to sue them and hold them accountable for what their charter is supposed to be.
Yeah, but this guy's
TJ,
supposed to
I
be.
think
But
they
this
do. I
guy's
think
supposed to
they're.
be a black belt. This guy's supposed to be a master. This guy's supposed to be someone that's leading people and showing them what the right way to do things. Like,
Tell me about the cheating
you're, you're,
referees for a year. What about the cheating referees? Those guys are black belts. They're
I
supposed to hold
know,
themselves to a higher standard. Come on now.
I
I know.
get
I
it.
know. Listen, I get it, but we're talking about like right now in this day and age, these guys are supposed to be different. They're supposed to be more educated, but the ethics of it is just horrible. It's just the optics of it is just, I think they are being sneaky, TJ, because they want to do it in the last minute so that Mr. Abdul doesn't do the same thing. I don't know if he would or not. I'm not saying he would, but you know what I'm saying? They're just trying to figure out how many votes do we need to get rid of this guy? Maybe it's 18, 17. I don't really know how it goes.
Yeah,
With those 5 members, they get 5 votes or 1 vote.
I
I
don't know.
don't even know. I don't even care because it doesn't really matter to me, but
It's
it matters
just
to these guys.
it's just shiesty. And if you're out there supporting that, and we're out there, this is who AAU's putting in leadership positions. People that are willing to do this because they're willing to do this. And the ones that are
But
in this area that are doing it because they think it's a good thing, like stop. You're still doing the wrong thing. No matter what you want the end result to be, you're still doing it the wrong way. No one says someone can't lose an election. No one says someone can't be replaced with
correct,
somebody better. But you guys, if they're
correct.
going about it the complete wrong way, and the ones and all the coaches that actually have clubs, that actually have people in their clubs that are doing that, shame on you too. You're a part of the
Yeah.
problem. That you don't fix things by cheating more. That's not how things get fixed. If
Those
there is a
people,
problem,
or those people that do have real clubs and stuff like that, they're getting their vote
null
is
and void.
worth null and void because these clubs with 5 people, a Pumse club, a demo team club, sparring club that was just
Demo team,
made up out of
sparring team, Poomse teams, cyber taekwondo Poomse team. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. A point sparring team. No, I don't think there's
see,
one real building in this whole list. How about that?
that's crazy. And to be even more frank about this thing, to show you that these guys are just doing whatever they want, even against their own bylaws or rules, regulations. Okay, this guy's hosting the regional, and you're supposed to be a district person, a district chair to host a regional. But this guy's not. He's not even, he's nothing. He's not even appointed yet. He's not elected yet. And he's hosting the regional AAU event. Like, that's crazy. Why? Because Clinton said so, because Alex said so, because Joe Mirza said so. Like, that is just wrong all the way around for everybody in the country. It's bad. Like, again, if these guys were smart, they would do nothing, just stay out of it, you know? But they're letting this guy is he gonna have a referee thing too? Just like they told you, oh, you could do tops now. You know, you could do a tops referee thing, TJ. Oh, we'll let you have the regional, and you can start making money right now. That was the thing. Start making money right now. They kept on talking about that. They kept on reinforcing that, and it was nasty. It was slimy. It was corrupt, and now we see it. Now it's in motion. And you know what, TJ? Thank goodness you're not there. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have fallen into that same trap, and that would have been good. Hopefully you would have been smart enough to say, no, guys, I don't need your help. I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna win on my own. You know,
Yeah,
you're
no,
not
for
gonna
sure.
play that. But that's what they were trying to do to you.
I know.
They were trying to set you up to set themselves up, and it's just bad all the way around. And
I'm just more ashamed with the community that allows it to happen, that knows it's going on, that's a part of it. I'm just ashamed that, like, some of these people I've known for a very long time, and it's unfortunate that you're willing to do these things for what? For what? For, again, like Grandmaster just said, for an organization that has nothing to do with the Olympic, and has nothing to do with the big picture, that's supposed to be about development and friendship and camaraderie and building and all these things. But we're cheating to get a volunteer position just so we can run a couple tournaments, and we don't care how we get there. We don't care where the money comes from. We just gotta be in. We gotta be seen. We gotta be a part. Some of these people aren't even capable of doing the job that they swear they want to do. We're pretending
even
right now.
even these clubs, like if you came to me and said, man, I just want to make the area better, the region better, the North Carolina area better,
What does that mean?
and build it up. Exactly. Well, these clubs, they can't do anything. They got 5 members. What are they going to do? I mean, they're fake clubs. They're demo team clubs. That's not going to help
Listen,
build
no,
the numbers.
no matter who's in charge, to build up a region is tough. To get more people to buy into a system is tough, especially when the
100%.
organization at the top is doing stupid shit like point chasing and go here and go there and go this and go this, and all this somehow wraps into nationals. And the top's messed up, the middle's messed up, and now I'm just watching these guys that are climbing from the bottom messing up the middle even more. It's unfortunate that it's like that, but I just can't believe it's happening in real time.
It's happening in real
time.
time. I'll tell you what's happening in real time. I mean, again, this is half rumor. I mean, because I didn't see it with my own eyes, but there's reports that AU's membership is 62, 65, 100. It was 17,000 before.
Jesus.
I mean, if that's true, I mean, that's not a good look. I had a guy from Canada call me today and was like, holy cow, man, the numbers are horrible. I'm looking at the divisions. There's a few cadet divisions that are okay and blah, 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 but the seniors are super small. I have one girl that has one person in her division. That's a big drop off. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know, because
Yeah.
I don't even know where you're looking at because it doesn't really affect me, but I guess he's looking at the list that's already signed up for nationals. I don't know when the deadline is. I don't know anything about that. But if that number is true and they're under 10,000, they're at 7,000 or under, even 8, and you had 17,000 before, you're 10, 11,000 less. It's crazy, man. It's AAU proper not just a couple weeks ago, fired the volleyball exec, the man who runs volleyball, and the guy brings in millions to AAU, and they got rid of him. And the conversation went like this: so and so, we have so and so on the line. Okay, hey, how's it going? Yeah, you're fired. What? What are you talking about? What's happening? A lot. Click. You're fired. A lot's been happening. Click. That's it. That guy got rehired by a huge company. Huge company. I'm making 3 times what he used to make. And I'm like, what is going on? Just as a whole, we got membership down left and right in these other sports, and now our sport is getting decimated. I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the Nationals. You know, I mean, I'm almost thinking that it's not going to be as big as they thought, because they probably would have been like 4,000 people, 5,000 people. They've been real quiet with all those numbers. So I don't know if we'll ever find out, blah, 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 blah. But it's just, it looks messy from the top all the way down to the individual sports.
Wait.
You know, I'm getting off, topic a little bit with the North Carolina specifically, but if it's happening here, it's probably happening somewhere else, TJ.
No, for sure. Because
You
I
know,
mean,
for sure.
where they get the playbook from, where they get the let's do this from. Like these guys don't know any. If coming from the outside of AAU, getting in, like you said, we were trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about half the time. Like now I see, obviously, but like, I mean, this guy can't know more than I knew going in. Like these had to be told to do this. You know,
Yes.
One of the clubs that just
Hey,
got
Nico,
added is from another state.
Did
That's
you check the
underneath,
mailbox and see if my
North
PCAT came
Carolina.
yet? Uncle Juan and Uncle TJ have PCATs on again. I still don't have a hat. Did you see one? No, he says no. All
If
right,
you
go
send
ahead.
him a hat,
Sorry,
he
said
got
when
something
a
wearing.
I'm going to say when a Nico, because he'll wear it.
he would. I don't actually. He doesn't wear hats, but he's like his
He'd wear
dad.
mine.
He'd wear your hat. He loves you.
No, but you're right, TJ. Like what'd you say about like an out of state person?
Yeah. Like there's a couple of the clubs that got added are like technically New York clubs, some other states clubs that are somehow registered under out in North Carolina. Like it's just they're just doing whatever they want. That's the crazy part. I like we're like again, we still sit here waiting for a response from our suspension. Yeah, currently. These guys,
Yeah.
they're literally I don't understand. Again, I'm not a big business person. I don't know the ins and out of everything and what the rules are, but I know you probably got to respond to people. I know there's if you're putting demands on the person to respond within 30 days, there's some retaliation and some back the other way that's involved in all these things. And I just don't
Yeah.
think.
So
Go ahead.
we have to respond in 30 days, but they could go months and not say anything to us. Crazy.
It's crazy.
That's a good one too.
You know?
Yeah, but how do
I
they
mean-
do that?
Listen, there's so many things. I just mentioned about the North Carolina Regional. You're supposed to be a director, as a district chair. I'm sorry, I don't even know their own terms. The district chair to host one of those things. This guy isn't, but it's okay because they said it's okay. I heard through the grapevine that the director of martial arts is going to run for the chair of taekwondo. So the current chair, they're going to push him aside and say, you know what, we're going to let this other guy. But technically, you're supposed to be a district chair. He's not a district chair unless he wins something. I don't know when the votes are. Like, and he's not. He came down here in Florida and wasn't. Didn't run. I think he was going to, but he didn't have the votes. I don't know if he is in New York. So they're just doing whatever they want, when they want, how they want. I mean, if that's not on the verge of, like you said, I mean, that I don't want to use the word corrupt, because corrupt would, well, I guess it is corrupt. I mean, corrupt would be used as like a breaking the law. They're not breaking the law, but it seems like they're breaking their own bylaws. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like where they go to jail for, but like, it's strange how they just, they want to act like everything is perfect. And the other organization says, we're the safe place to be and the best place to be. And we're working to do things the right way. Yet you got your MOU partner is doing these things.
Right?
That's who you're going to. That's who you're married with. Your MOU partner is operating like this. You guys are okay with that? That's how you think it should all be done. They were worried about you, TJ. They were worried about you because you're on a podcast. They're worried about you because you're
That's a great
successful.
fucking point.
And you know what the funny thing is? Someone told me this today. They said, all this TJ stuff has been new, but it's been like this for 10 years. It's been like this. It's always been a peak thing. It's always been a want thing. TJ just happens to be the lightning rod right now. And now let's forward it to this. They talk about all these good things that they're trying to do and shake hands and work together. Do they know that they're operating like this? That's like knowing that someone's doing something abusive and just, it's okay because they're bringing us money. It's okay because they're helping us out. Is that not the same? They're doing this same unethical things. I read a thing right now. I have some athletes going to this tournament this weekend up in Pennsylvania. They have this big thing on the outline about how spectators should act. A big page. It's well intended. I have no problem with it. Don't boo, don't harass, respect athletes, respect the coaches, respect the referees. Okay. Then you guys, if you guys don't know this stuff is going on in these regions, in these districts, then you're not doing your homework. You're not being a good partner. And if you do know and you're letting it happen, man, you guys are running some charade games on people.
See, this is why Grandmaster goes crazy. What kind of sport are we in? What kind of sport are we in where you can sit here and tell people how to react to a call? I can't.
I don't get that.
I can't boo. If I think the referee made a wrong call, I can't go boo. That was bad call, ref. That's not the right call. Like you can't. We can't do that.
They're gonna put you in a safe sport.
What are you gonna do?
Safe sport.
What are you gonna do? What are we gonna kick me out for disagreeing with something that I'm gonna tell you?
Yes.
Probably 9 times out of 10, the person that's yelling at the ref in the middle is probably right about. That's the worst part.
Of course.
That's the worst part. So you can't. You have to sit there. That's like team trials. Everyone's sitting there like we're at a funeral and there's no noise, there's no excitement, there's nothing driving competition because you're telling people now. You're telling people how to act.
And think about this. Let's say I'm cheering for my guys, going crazy. Is that going to be negatively perceived by the other fans, the other coaches, the other athlete? Yeah, they're going to be upset about it.
Imagine if the kid's down by 10, 15 and the crowd's like, oh, let's go, hit him again, going crazy. Then I'm being bad. That's not okay. But that's what we're spending our time. We're writing paragraphs about how parents should act and how spectators should act. But all the other stuff going on around is good.
I think it all stems from that Pumse thing.
Probably.
Where the parents were booing the referees, and they kind of said it was for the kid, and then there was some like, was it for the kid or was it for the referees, and it was kind of bad. But I think that's what that was from. But you're right, TJ. That's a good point. Like, listen, should you be harassing and / heckling and like probably not. Probably not in a amateur sport. A sport where there's kids and stuff like that. But I would
say probably not in a sport like Taekwondo where we're supposed to have traditions and respect and integrity and all those things. But you can't have one without the other. You can't be zero integrity over here and then want everyone else to have this massive amount of integrity because it helps you out or it controls your event, But like you're not even operating like that. So why do you expect other people to operate like that?
This is not even a related thing, but like I was thinking about the other day, like imagine you're coaching from the side, you're literally sitting in the stands, I don't know, 50 feet away, and you're like, cut, go ahead, move back, hands up. Like, hey, like the whole one coach thing. Well, what about the dad and mom that says, go, kick, ass kick, face kick? Like I'm saying again, where are you drawing the line? Well, he's coaching, but you're kind of.
You just can't know too much. You can't know too much. You can't know too much. Be a visible face that they know in the thing and talk, Because for sure it's the same thing. Like, if I'm telling my parent to do this or do that, what's the difference?
Yeah. And then you can say no coaching from the thing. Everyone says side kick, top kick, axe kick, watch out, hands up, move. Blah. Everybody, moms, dads, other coaches, your friends, your teammates. It's just, I mean, I got us off track, so I apologize. But, back to the thing at hand, it's just, I mean, these guys, they want to talk about everything right and everything, but they can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. If you have an organization that's doing this to people, if you have this organization that's doing this to future leaders, if you have these people in these future leader positions, literally stacking the votes in the federation, assisting them, it's a problem. I mean, again, I don't know that 100%, but just putting one and one together, from what they told you, we'll put all our resources, you will win, you will win. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing your replacement will win, will win, will win. I mean, again, I hope that Mr. Abdul gets it. Listen, I don't even know anything about Mr. Abdul. All I know is as a referee. That's all I know. He's refereed matches I've been in. Nothing more. I don't know anything about him. So I'm not doing it because he's my buddy. He's my pal. I respect him immensely. I don't know anything about him, but I'm a wrong and right kind of guy. It just seems like if you can beat the guy fair and square in a election, okay. But this seems weird. It seems odd. And putting it all together just seems like it's kind of going in that direction that is not good.
Yeah, I just can't. But again, like I don't know how you want to put a person like that in charge. Like I don't know. I don't know how
So-
you can sell that to people. Like this is the guy. This guy that's literally being a part of adding 18 plus clubs, 18 clubs within 48 hours to just win this election using people that for sure don't have clubs, for sure don't teach anybody, for sure don't lead people in some other aspects that it's a real thing to just win the election. And this is who's going to be in charge of this region and put on tournaments and whatever. All that stuff about hiding behind, the development and like making something better in this area. Like it's bullshit. It's for your pockets. It's for your pockets. You'll get to run this turn, like you just said, that tournament and make a little money doing something. That's all about these guys' pockets and then get to walk around, maybe put a little tie on and feel special for a day because that's probably as much as they've ever done in their entire lives. It's just sickening.
Great leaders don't have to protect their place. Great leaders lead, and by their virtue of leadership, they end up in a place, in a position to help people, and people try to keep them there. Great leaders also know when to step aside when their time has come and nurture the generation of youngers and things of that sort. But great leaders don't need to game the system to stay in power. People try to get them to stay in power. And at the end of the day, a great leader knows when it's time to move on and let somebody else. But there's no doubt in my mind that there aren't any great leaders in the AAU, nor have there been. Well, I liked Bobby Stone amongst a few others. But there's no doubt that this current crew, the current clown show, which joins the USAT clown show of Brown, Warwick, and others, just to name a few, is no different, right? He goes to the old school of whatever, and this has always been a school of manipulating the system, trimming the branches on the tree, pruning the tree before you get to the finals. But, they can do it and get along with it as long as people stay complacent. So if you stay complacent,
I mean, if what I've heard, the numbers are down, it's easier for them to control. They don't care. They don't care if the numbers are down.
Yeah, they don't
they
have
can
to win.
control the numbers easier. They don't need, if there's not X amount and there's only this amount, they can control a little bit easier. And I mean, TJ, when we were, again, just go back a year, don't you think that, a guy like Alex, he really wanted to be the chair. He really wanted to be the chair of the organization. I was, trying to help him because I knew he was a young man. He had, great energy, but I knew he didn't have enough, experience. He really didn't. I mean, he has a lot of great ideas, can run a tournament, but as far as knowing people and how to work, he needed some help. He needed some, some people around him. And I wanted to kind of help him with that, but whatever. They chose that way. They put this guy Clinton there. They put him there. But like, think about this now. Now, if I'm saying it right here because this is what I heard. If they're not going to allow him to run and they're going to put Clinton ahead of him, like, just think about that. Like, nobody even had this guy on his radar. Now they're going to put him in to the chair position. They're going to try to get him elected. That's crazy. Obviously we heard, Alex on those audios and Clinton for that matter. But, specifically Alex talk about F that USAT. So let's go to war with those guys. He didn't like anything about it. Now he's running a tournament for them. I mean, it's in 10 days. Wait a minute. Next week he's got an AU regional and then he's got the USAT tournament. He's got 53 people signed up right now, according to sport 80. 53 people and 10 coaches. That's
Isn't
what
it,
he's doing for them.
isn't it crazy though? Like
That's nuts.
we heard him go FUSAT and this and this. Like we heard the words. And now online he's sitting there selling to the membership how this is such a good thing. And
Yeah,
we need this and it's we're growing together. Like you literally just said
that's
that. I
crazy.
know, but what Crosby okay, here's the problem, coach. But then you got all these people popping up, Region 6, Region 7, Region 8, Region 9, Region 10, big smiles on their face, pretending like y'all heard what he said. Y'all know what's going
Yeah,
on. You guys know why it is the way it is, and you still go along with it. So, like I said last
yeah,
when I was talking about the other stuff with the coaching and stuff, it's your fault too. Shame on you guys. I don't care about this AU membership and all stuff. It's irrelevant. But I just can't stand by and watch all these people. Most of these guys shake my hand. Most of these guys say hello. Most of these guys pretend like they know what's going on and they let it continue to happen and they hide behind this is better for the kids. This is not better for the kids. This is not better for the coaches. This is not better for the referee. And it's not better for the country. Like they took something that when we went over and I started doing the AU game, they took something that was like simple, like you said, and easy. And it felt like, hey, we're in a good place. We're doing something okay. We can go back and forth about the referees and the hogus and all that stuff like that, but you could still see it was a value in bringing your kids there. They've literally just turned this and flipped it into a mirror of what USAT was doing 6-7 years ago, having people go
exactly.
into 45 tournaments to get ranked #1 positions. It's so stupid. Who cares about being ranked #1 for AAU nationals? What does it mean?
And the funny thing this year, so this is a new thing. So everyone's a state or district champion, and they might be now a regional champion. They're all going to have the same point totals. And then what?
Then what?
Then how do you just, if you have 60 and I have 60, who's number one?
You gotta be
And if
from,
there's 5 of us,
you gotta be from New York. That might help. You
I'm
might
gonna-
get
I'm just
one
gonna
up
keep
from
talking.
New York.
I'm grabbing water real fast.
Yeah.
That's
No, it's the same thing. They just made a mirror of what these guys were doing before, and it's all everyone that's sitting by and watches. I know they have their positions, they have their you know I guess their camaraderie with each other and all this stuff like that. But y'all know some of them have said to my face how bad it was, and you don't agree with what they're doing. Then what does that mean? Like not even just these like because I know Master Abdul is friends with a lot of them. And like this is happening to him lifetime. Forget me. Forget all this other stuff. You got someone that's been a part of the organization and been a positive part of the organization right now. And in lifetime is being screwed. And you guys are online taking these pictures all posted up and smiles on your face, region 36 and a half and all this stuff. Like for what? What does it mean?
I'll ask you guys both. I'll ask you both. I'm gonna Young. You got a dude that screwed you over. That's like hurt your families. Not physically, but like just did some bad things to your family. Did something bad to your kid. Didn't let him in school. Kept your daughter out of art program. Just kind of major, just bad little things here and there for the last 5-6 years. Right? That has happened to you, and I know that. I know that guy. Me and you are brothers. Me and you are good friends. Me and you have whatever. And then I go to dinner with that guy. I go to have coffee with that guy, take a picture with this guy, or just like I'm asking you guys on straight up, would you have to question me and your relationship then? If I knowingly, if you were friends and I know somebody hurt you, but I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't with me, so I'm gonna go over there and have coffee. I'm gonna go have dinner with him and his family. Like, I couldn't know how I would act. I'm sorry, TJ, because me and you go around this world. I mean, Young, you're not in our world when it comes to the sports side. That's how I'm starting to feel. I started thinking about that based on me and your conversation a couple weeks ago, TJ. And I'm like, all right, if all these people have a beer with me and they say everything is messed up or this and this and this and this and this, and then I go see them on the other side a day later, a week later, a month later, that's fine if they want to do that. But they can't be mad if I question the relationship that I thought that we had originally. And if I have to I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to cut some of these fringe friends that I'll call them out because I wouldn't do that to you guys, so.
It's strange. It's weird. The answer has to be.
And I said, and listen, wait a minute, I'm sorry, TJ.
No, you're good.
I've said this a million times. I don't expect anybody to fight my fight. We just talked about at the beginning of this podcast. I've been this guy that stood up for rights since 1988 when I first moved into this world when I was 17 years old, and I've never changed. I have a principle. I always tell people I'm a black and white kind of guy. I am not a gray dude. I mean, so some people are gonna love me for that. Some people are gonna hate me for that. And I've let some of these people that I associate with, do the friendly handshake, give me the hug, what's going on? And they tell me these things, but yeah, then they go do something else. I'm like, man, I would never act like that. I
It's
never did
because
to
you're.
TJ.
It's because but the reason for that response is because you're a man. Because you don't want people to fight your fights. You don't want to get to that personal place where you feel like, oh yeah, well I'm kind of mad at this guy because he's doing this, and you kind of just keep the value of your friendship where it was, and you'll take it. But the reality is, I've done that for a long time, and I know you've done it for a long time. And you're right. It gets to the point where, dude, I don't really care. Like, don't shake my hand. Don't say hello. Don't or
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
come to me and tell me. Like, I've had people walk up to me and tell me how bad it is. I don't ask you. I actually,
yeah. I know.
I actually, most people that talk to me about this stuff, I kind of push the topic out. Like, I'm like, I'm always good, because I am. I'm always good. I don't want to go into
Yeah,
detail with you because our relationship doesn't need to be about that. But when you come towards me and you tell me that this is bad and they're doing this and you don't agree, but yet you're still on the same boat. Yet you're paddling the boat. Yet you're giving direction. I have to question you. I see you.
yeah,
You know what these people have done to me or do to me, or how they, and we talk about when it comes from this group or to the bigger organization. Like, this goes deeper than a lot of people know. I've watched it, not just with myself, not just with you, not like other teammates and people that have been in the system. Like, it's not a few. It's always been the same. Like
no.
you said, it's been 8, 10 years. It's always like this. And we've always, I know for a fact, because I come from the same, I come from you when we talk about your seniors teaching you how to act. I know we take a lot on the chin. We take a lot on the
Yeah,
chin and we keep moving because, like, whatever. Whatever. This guy, this guy, this guy, that guy, this, whatever. But like, at some point, it gets tiring. At some
yeah.
point, you, like you said, you get tired of shaking the hands, and I don't know, cut people. Like, most of these people are irrelevant anyways, But
That's the funny part.
you know, but because of the roles that we've been pushed into, and like Master Capener calling it the iconic position you've been put into. You've learned, you shake everyone's hand, you say hello, you remain respectful, you remain humble, you remain a positive part of the community because that's who you are and that's what we do. But then at some point, if they're not, why we always got to be nice to everybody? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And these
God
guys,
forbid, God forbid you call somebody out. Now we're like the bad guy. Say
right,
hello to the bad guy.
right.
I learned from him. I learned from that guy right there. That's the problem. It's your fault, young. You taught me.
So I will say this, and there are many stories about this, but there's one in particular that I know Coach Moreno knows of. And the organization that we were all part of way back when had made a decision that they were going to try to keep me off a team. One particular coach, I won't mention his name out of respect because he's passed away, but he told all the referees that no matter what, Perez doesn't make the team. So this match that I fought against this individual, I beat him badly. Beat him. He didn't touch me. And somehow they put points on the board for the guy. At the end of the match, I go over to the board and I tap it to see if it's working, literally tap it. And then I decide, because this is post 88, I'm done. So I'm going to leave the gym. Coach Holloway grabs me and puts me back in the gym. And he says, listen, you want to do something? He says, beat him so badly that even the blind people in the audience see it. So that resonated with me. I went back into the gym and I had to beat him twice now. Not once, but twice. And I beat him twice and badly. And to the point where they bring in a Korean coach trying to help him, who's beating him up between rounds. And even during that match, one of the referees tried to cheat. And I walked out of the arena, walked out of the ring until they changed the illegal warning they gave me, a deduction point. And Holloway calls the guy over and said, what are you giving a warning for? So lo and behold, I win the match. And this isn't the part of the story that matters, but here's the part that does matter. I now have to get on a plane and go to Greece and fight in the 91 World Championships. And the guy responsible for it is head of team. So I'm team captain. I show up in JFK Airport. And when he comes over, I walk away. Dae-Sung Lee walks up to me. What are you doing? I said, listen, I've made enough teams. I have enough medals. I don't need to win anything else. I said, you want me to come over and bow to this clown? I'm not bowing to him. So if that's going to be it, just let me know. I'll stay here. We're in New York. I live here. I'll just go back home and eat cookies. So we go to Greece. True story. Go to Greece. And there's another one at the Olympic Games, which Juan can tell you about in 92, a year later. And they all decide, because another coach there, this clown, Chung Sik Choi, the world's worst bantamweight in the history of our sport, got knocked out by Han Wan Lee in the team trials, but that's a different story. He starts giving us a hard time. So I get up and I say, he says, stop fooling around. And I said, oh, no. Stop torturing the team. And so he says, you can leave. I said, all right, I'll get up and I leave. So they decide they're going to have an intervention. They get all the coaches together, including the guy who had cheated. And we're in a room, Lynette Love, myself, Kevin Padilla, and a few others. And they're like, Herbert, you're a team captain. You cannot act like this. And I said, and I look at the guy who had done it. I said, I know what you did, and I know what you tried to do to keep me off this team and the Pan American team for 91. I said, so let me be clear. The next time you interfere in one of my matches, and this is a senior Korean instructor, who I won't name now, and a mafia guy, thinks he's in the mafia. He's about 2 feet tall, probably was a fighter back in the day, old Jitaquan guy. And I say, the next time you interfere in one of my matches, I guarantee you I will stand up, walk across the ring, and punch you in the face in front of everyone, just so we're clear. And everyone, Herbert, you cannot talk like that. I said, no. You don't know how many hours I train. You don't know what I do. I said, so just so we're clear, before I'm a Taekwondo man, I'm a Puerto Rican. So at the moment where you mess with me and mess with my life, I will come across the ring and in front of everyone, punch you in the face. Choice is yours. I don't need your help when I'm fighting. I don't need you to hurt me. Just step off to the side and let the matches go as they'll go. Fast forward to 1992, guys still head of the referees, and 92 writes itself. I have to fight maybe 2 matches. The other guys bow out or whatever else. But that's me. So I'm not suggesting anybody else do what I do, but that's my mentality. And there's another story I'll tell at another time. Coach Moreno was there for the 92 version of that in Barcelona at the games. But there comes a point in time where you have to stand up for what's right. And I'm the first guy. You guys have both been around me long enough to know I'm the first guy to bow, shake hands, and that same individual, by the way, his compatriot at the 91, after the 91 things, comes up to me, and in front of all the Korean masters, he's one of the Korean Masters Executive Committee, goes to shake my hand. And I just stand there looking at him. And he goes, you're not shaking my hand? I said, oh, no. See, I don't shake hands with people like you. I said, I have all to do right now just to contain myself, not to punch you in the face. I said, if you were in the parking lot, I'd run you over with my car. By way of example, nothing, I'm just saying, just so you understand how I feel about you. If you're waiting for the shaking hand part, that's not happening. And again, that goes back to my fundamental thing, which gets Coach Moreno and you in trouble sometimes. And I inspire you sometimes too much, or not inspire you, but, you start to get caught up in my fever and do things that you probably shouldn't do. But I look at it really simply. I have enough stuff. I've done enough stuff. I'm old enough that I should be able to do what's right and say what's right, because I don't really care. I don't care what they think they can take from me. USA Taekwondo doesn't mention our names. Who cares? You can't take away my medal. Who cares?
Nah,
don't mention my name, by the way. I'm okay.
First of all, yeah,
erase me from history.
When you say things that maybe we shouldn't say, no, we should say them, to be honest with you. So I mean,
yeah,
because I know what you mean. Like, we could avoid some gunshots at us, so to speak. But you know what? Someone's got to say it. And we're saying it diplomatically. I mean, we have people every day that come up and congratulate us and say, keep doing what we're doing. So look, we probably should be more coarse, and we should be more rough around the edges and not be so polite in our
No,
analogies,
you should
in
be
our
polite, but
so
here's the question, and not for you, because when you're invested and you have stuff to think about and you have others that depend upon you, you can be more measured in your tone. I don't have anybody that depends on me in the sport. I don't have anybody I have to protect, and so I should be in a place where I can speak. But here's the long and the short of it, right? At some point, the people in this organization need to ask themselves, we all started Taekwondo for different reasons. I started it to be a better man. I wanted to be respected like my instructor was. I wanted to be a man of character. I wanted to believe in principles. I wanted to stand for those principles. I looked around and there aren't many of us. Most of them, they're taking the carrot, the plane ticket, the seat at the table. They're taking the free meal and they're yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, massa.
yeah, but
Where can I
You know
go?
the crazy part
What bag can I carry?
with no sense of guilt though.
Because
Like
they
with
don't care,
no
because for
sense
them
of
it's a
guilt. Like
value add, it's a value proposition. What can I get from me? Jay Warwick, the worst
that's
taker. I'm
and they
embarrassed for him because if the USAT is paying for his plane tickets, he's made enough money that he doesn't need to take their money. He should be donating his money. I can guarantee you he hasn't written a check to USA Taekwondo. Most people that join boards, they donate to the boards. I haven't been on a single board that I haven't donated to. This guy's taking every free plane ticket he can so he can sit next to the guy who knocked him out at the Olympics.
like you said, TJ, like with no guilt, no remorse, whatever. But yeah, they'll be quick to say, well, first of all, I think they're protecting the people that are doing mediocre right now. I mean, having mediocre results because it's easy to keep them in a situation of power of control. Because if not, then they have to deal with somebody new that may question them. But anyway,
Anyway, what's our next
they'll
topic?
keep doing what they're told to do because somewhere deep down inside they know they shouldn't be there. They don't even love the sport enough
that's
to be
right.
there. They don't
That's
even
right.
love the
That's
sport
right.
enough to be there. They don't even understand the sport enough to be there. Like you, I've known a lot of this organization for a very long time. They're not fit for the positions that they're in. They don't even know what it means to be a leader for others to try to help them get to a place where
But
they're
they
trying to
mean
go.
well.
Fine.
I heard this. Two things I want to talk about. Like number one, I would like to talk about real fast about the Asian Championships. Talking about that recently, and then also about the new rules that are coming up next week at the Grand Prix in Rome. But it's funny. I heard this on a podcast, and this coach was vouching for his friend. He admitted there was his friend. Then he was like, you know what? Every time I've been around him, like he means well, and he tries his best, and he's well intentioned. And I was like, what the hell does means well intentioned? That's like, sorry, boss, I meant to show up on time. I really was trying to get, oh, okay, Juan, as long as you meant to be here on time, no problem. I'm sorry I didn't get that file into you. It was my intention to do it, but I ate a bunch of cookies and my stomach got rumbling and had to go to the bathroom. Oh, you intended to get it done, but you didn't get, no problem. Like that's not the way the world works, especially in a performance result based sport at
Yep.
the highest level. At the highest level, maybe at the cadet level, maybe at the junior level, maybe at the little mini peewee where we're just participation. But when you're at the world champion, Olympic level, Pan American Championship level, Grand Prix level, you're well intentioned as a coach, as a leader. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? That crazy take.
That's again, like you said, I know it's the friend. It's the I'm looking out for my boy who again we're talking about his like intentions. A person's intentions is just the silliest thing in the world. Like you just said, I don't care what you intend to do, it's what you do. It's what you do offer. What are you can you do this job or should you be doing this job? I don't care if you intend to be a good person and you're a bad person. If you intend to be a good person, you're a bad person, guess what? You're still a fucking bad person. You're just a bad person. There's no intention behind it. Like I wanted to be good this morning and I didn't. But I've never had that privilege, so I don't know what that feels like. My intentions have never
Yeah.
been enough to sway anything. If I
Get you on a team.
yeah, no. If there was, I had to either do it or you didn't do it. You either won or you lost. But those are the type of people that have been in that world for so long that probably their intentions have got them in the places where they are now, or
It's the
the things
same.
they say out loud or say out of their mouth that are probably halfway lies and zero intention to it.
is the same guy that said, like, in the past, something out there that there was coaches that were, privatizing, their
I
information
heard
and
that
not
part
giving it
too.
to people.
What does
And
that
I'm
even
like,
mean?
wait a what is it? First of all, yeah, I don't know what that means. Number one, we didn't have a centralized training, so what are we supposed to do? And number two, I went to everything. Me personally, I went to every cadet. Well, we didn't have cadet junior team, junior worlds, junior Pan Ams. I went by myself to El Salvador when it was bad. Me and two other coaches. So don't tell me that we weren't, doing things. But I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't what they have now, the academy, isn't that a private? I mean, aren't they keeping all their information
No,
for
no, no,
them?
no,
Aren't
no,
they
no, no,
keeping
no.
all their
No,
resources
no, they're
to them?
not. They're not doing that. Stop it. They're only gonna
No.
charge you. No, if you pay
Oh,
$295, you can get all that
oh,
information. If you pay
got you,
for
got
the,
you.
the gold member subscription that you paid 3 years in advance, you'll get some kicking videos too and access to level 1 and level 2. But like that's my
Or
issue.
to the website, or to their personal website.
Don't let's not pretend that if this is somewhat different and they are putting more information out. Also, let's not forget we're in the media era. It wasn't so people didn't do what people are doing now. Like I still halfway despise putting out Taekwondo publicly, training videos and kicking videos. Like it used to feel private. It was for you and your team to develop, to grow, to you were giving them you. It wasn't for public consumption, you know? And I know we live in a different world now, but let's not pretend like you just said. This is the most prioritized, monetized single room I have ever experienced in my entire life of doing Taekwondo.
This country, there's never been, even at the OTC days, there's no money. There was no money. The coach didn't get paid. The athletes didn't get their way paid for. They had dormitory and food because that was, provided by the Olympic Training Center. But a budget, a paid coaching staff for doctors, physicians, or physiotherapists, nutritionists, psychologists. What?
And that's why I need
That's
people.
prioritized.
But this is why we go back to what we're saying about the intentions and at the world level, and we celebrate second and third and fourth and whatever at Pan Am Championships and other things that listen, this is what I'm being told, this is the cream of the crop, right? This is the elite of the elite.
Oh no, they're supposed to have that talent ID or that showcase. So maybe they might find that diamond in the rough. That cliche.
I I I don't even know how people take their guys to the stuff like that. Like
Crazy. I don't
what
know why you would.
why?
That's ridiculous.
You know?
If you don't, unless you're brand new to the scene and you have no idea, but all of a sudden it's your turn and you're gonna go there. Oh, how about this, TJ? Tell you got to tell them about the game, playing the
Oh,
game.
yeah, it's funny. I had a couple of conversations just like recently over the last like 3, 4 weeks. So I'll keep hearing this, is it worth me playing the game or doing this? I don't know why people would ask me, should they play the game? And I think they're referring to like AAU stuff or USAT stuff. Is it worth it? Is it gonna, help their athletes and all this stuff? The reality is if you have to play a game outside of the sport of taekwondo to get your athlete something, like at some point you got to realize it's probably not worth it. Like, and I get it, and I've heard it so much. You got to be politically correct. You got to walk the walk and talk the talk and all this stuff. But it really means nothing if the value of what you're getting is not there, and that you should never have to jump through hoops to get something you work hard for, you push for, you deserve, or you're in the running for. Like it shouldn't have to be that way. Like I don't even understand. Like you tell me what's the game? Hi sir, how are you? Shake his hand. Your guys are doing great. Awesome. Let me lie about results. Be like, pump you guys up. You guys have done so amazing. This is so great what you guys are doing. It's gonna revolutionize the sport. Is that playing the game? Is that what they mean?
Is that what they need so that their athlete feels like, listen, if you're good, you're good. I mean, I think there's a couple athletes recently that went out to the academy that didn't need to go out to the academy because they were literally the best in the country at where they were. And they went out there because they thought that they needed to play the game and they were the highest level and they're being less productive. That's the truth of the matter. So now you got
Great
these
word.
cadets and juniors thinking, and their coaches and their moms and dads thinking, should we play the game? They don't ask me that because no,
I can't believe people
obviously,
ask
but
me that. I don't
hey,
even
that's
understand.
funny, man. That's a funny one. That's a funny take, but I will talk about that again. But hey, I know we're getting a little bit late. Let's talk a little bit real fast about the Asian Championships. Did you get a chance to watch any of that, TJ?
I,
My first take was them and Europe, how it was a multi-day competition. in the Pan Am region, we have all 16 weight categories on one day. These guys, it looked like a Grand Prix, like I think three rings. I mean, they had different sessions. It was, I mean, the divisions weren't that much bigger than the Pan Ams because we had so many wild cards. I mean, there was some 20s and 25s and 30s, in some of the men's divisions, but I thought the overall quality of the Asian championships. I mean, and I know like the European style and the Asian style make it look nice, but Iran looked like they weren't playing. Uzbekistan had a very strong showing. They lost a couple finals in the last second, which is a little bit uncharacteristic, or else they could have had a few more. Korea 68 boy looks nice. That Korea 68 boy looks pretty good. He's tall. He's won up, a bunch of things recently. The 80 guy, that boy be living on the edge, man. That dude, I think he may be close to done.
He's pulling them out at the end for sure. He's doing things that shouldn't happen.
That
probably couldn't happen again if he tried it, But
I think Grand Prix level, like I think when he starts to get to like 3 or 4 tough matches like that, I think 2 or 3 tough matches, that could be not as easy. So
it's I guess like you said, my biggest takeaway is the same thing. Like the value of I don't know if it's the value of production. It just looks cleaner. It feels cleaner. I think you just said something. Like the Asian style or European style makes it look nicer. Are you talking about the style of fighting?
When they fight with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you put like a European with an Asian or an Asian with a South American, I think our big ones could fight with them, and it doesn't look like when they fight, they're 2 people going together kind of fight the same style. It kind of looks like it goes together, That's how I see the Asians,
Yeah. The level, I mean, if I'm the level's way higher. There's no other way around it. Like it's just, I think they do play better. If I had to, I don't believe in like a style thing. I don't think there's when you have a region of people. I think you say we fight a little bit rougher in the Pan Am region, but I think at some point we've kind of gotten away from that. I think we're willing to get in an exchange in the Pan Am region, but I don't think we fight the same outside the Pan Am region that we fight in the Pan Am region. I don't think
we don't.
Yeah, that's kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
And then I go, is it what style prevails the most? If there is a style, because we start to blend in and we slow down a little bit and we kick long, we change the lengths, and it kind of builds into that whole thing. I just think overall Asia, I'm mid always about Europe, but I think Asia that they just play better,
Because I think overall, like number 5, 6, 7, 8, those guys are tough. When I look at like, again, you look at Korea, you look at Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, you look at Iran, you look at Chinese Taipei, Taipei, you look at Thailand, you look at some of these random one-off countries like India's got some weird things going on where these kids are like wild and kicking and stuff like that. Afghanistan's not there right now, but you're starting to get these. Mongolia has a couple of wild guys. China, I didn't even mention China. Like all of a sudden, like from the top 8 down, you got a battle. Like anybody can beat people, And I'm gonna tell you what, that 58 boy Zandy from Iran, that dude is no.
I don't
young. This boy beats people like slaves, man. He ain't playing. He beats you like you owe him money.
Why did TJ flinch?
They're so stupid. I swear, you're watching this guy, and then I know the game isn't so appealing to you, but you're watching this guy score at will on the Korean fighter to the point where the Korean guy just throws his arms in the air in confusion. He's hitting them so much in so many different spots that this guy that trains 3 times a day at like one of the best systems in the world is just baffled.
No answers. Zero answers.
Zero.
He hits that little flop kick to the back. He hits it to the front. He does side kick. He kicks him in the face. Like it's like all you hear is this thing going off, and the Korean dude's like what the man?
Supposed to do,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, man, that boy, and he's big. He's big. Now, do you remember back in the day when Farzad came out?
That was his name. I couldn't think of his name. I was trying to tell my boy his name. Yeah,
Iran. But Farzad, remember when he came out and he was dominating everybody, but then he had a problem with the weight, and kind of slowed down as it got closer to the Olympics, like in Rio and stuff like that. He's living Anyway, speaking of him, he's living in California. He's working with Medi Bebach. He's teaching at his school, so that's kind of cool that those two guys. Medi coached him when he was winning all those Grand Prix, so it's kind of cool that those guys are working together and doing pretty well out there for themselves. Medi he had a small school to start. I think he doubled it. He's a great guy, great guy. Always positive, always humble, always giving and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Iran they look the part. So this first Grand Prix in Rome is going to be, if everybody shows up, it's going to be interesting. It's
But
going to
if
be
they
interesting.
don't, my question, don't they have to show up? Because
There's a cutoff.
don't you get the cutoff hasn't happened yet?
I don't know. There is a certain cutoff point that, yeah, if you don't show up, then you get banned from the next one. But
I think we're
you
there,
can always
though.
go there. You might be, we might be. You could go there and you could not. When I say show up, like somebody could not make weight, and
But they
that's
gotta
not a
go get on.
ban.
But they gotta get on the scale.
Yeah, somebody
I'm
could
saying for
have,
the Europeans that don't, not the Europeans, or is it the Europeans with their championship or whatever? Not the championship,
yeah,
but
that's the President's Cup.
President's Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
I mean, they're on the list though. I'm just saying that cutoff is. It's like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably there, and it's kind of weird because there's some. Remember, they have like they always like the cutoff for this one was February. I think it was February. The cutoff for the next one is March. So like you're trying to like, wait a minute, that guy got a bunch of points in
Yeah.
April. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I think this Korean kid that I just talked about, I don't think he's in this first one. I don't think he's into like the last one. So people are gonna dodge some bullets for a couple tournaments. So
68's always crazy. It don't even matter. 68's always crazy. I think it's getting crazier. Like I think it's this I'm hoping for like a rebuild of like the Grand Prix from the beginning, where like all the 1 through 32 showed up, and you got good matches almost from the beginning of the day.
this has a potential. We're gonna see. I hope it is like that, because I think that, listen, you're not gonna make the Olympics this year,
Right.
but you'll have a good head start. You'll have a good head start. The people that aren't in the Grand Prix this series, I almost feel like your chances of coming in next year and winning Grand Prix and winning the World Championships is going to be very difficult, because these guys are all going to be in the top 10. And so they're going to have good seeds, and you're going to have to go through all the best of the best. So it's going to be a little bit tough, I think, for some of these American kids or some of these other, I think the Americans are lucky because obviously they have guaranteed 2 men and 2 women that will go to the Olympics. They don't have to worry about points because of the host country. There's no way they would get top 6 for 4 or 5 people. I mean, historically, they've never had it. They don't have any horses that could consistently win. There's maybe 2 people that could possibly crack the top 10. The other ones would need a lot of luck and a lot of parity, a lot of people losing, at the right time. Like you win, I win, Herb wins. So we just all kind of change points here and there. But
is the USAT in a place where they could have people that actually? So do they get those 4 spots in addition to? Like, let's say they had guys that were in the top 6.
No.
Do they get the top 6 go first?
Yeah. So for example, let's say me, you, and TJ, we all got top 6. Then we only get one more person.
Okay. So they'd have to have top 8.
They'd have to have
everybody, 8 people that went. Everybody was in the top 6.
Yes.
That's not happening.
5. No.
Yeah.
No. They have nobody that could. They have, like I said, they maybe 2 people. So
that's funny.
But it's gonna be interesting because even like in the AD guys, they have 2 people up there. So we're gonna see what young Victor does, and CJ. I don't know their draw. Actually, I have their draws. I can look at it.
Yeah, send it to me too. I haven't seen it yet either.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be interesting. So yeah,
it'll start quick.
Well, next week we'll get on track, and we'll do a preview of the Grand Prix. We'll have I'll make sure I have the draws according to like who's there, and then we can kind of go through it a little bit.
Well, I want to make sure we close with our usual disclosure, which is if anything we said on this podcast was offensive or offending to you personally,
I don't even know
we
if I'm
are
sorry anymore. Sorry.
sorry, but not sorry. I apologize, as Conor McGregor said, to absolutely nobody. So with that said, this has been the Warehouse 15. And as we have said before, not my circus, not my monkeys, but I certainly know who all the clowns are. With
To
that
those
said,
clowns.
we are out.
Peace.
Peace. All right, good.
Not my circus, not my monkey. Not my circus, not my monkey. But I know all the clowns and they looking real spunky. Yeah, the AAU back in town, tryna gain the system, tryna take the crown. They want that viral dance and the flash, but they can't move right, they just want the cash. Yeah, they prance, yeah, they play, while the real ones pay every single day. Look at the ringmaster sitting in the shade, living off the profits that the real talent made. They ain't got rhythm, they ain't got soul, just a pile of weak moves trying to lose control. Scared of the future, scared of the grind, left the dignity and their morals behind. Built that fake gold tower, wall to wall, but they can't talk slick when the curtains fall. Daddy bought the whistle, mommy bought the court, still can't buy respect in a real damn sport. On that smiling for the camera, all that staged up talk, but the work don't lie when the pressure wall. I see the strings, I see the grin, I see the same old scheme trying to pull me in. Keep your pageant, keep your crown. When the truth rolls up, it's tearing that down. Not my circus, not my monkey, but I know all the clowns and they looking real spunky. Yeah, the AAU back in town, trying to game the system, trying to take the crown. They want that viral dance and the flash, but they can't move right, they just want the cash. Yeah, they prance, yeah, they play, while the real ones pay every single day. New suit, same trick, same old grin, same backroom handshake, same paper thin win. They parade through the halls with a polished light and act surprised when the good ones dry. Real kids starving for a shot to breathe, while the fake ones scheme and the shameless thief. Every little favor got a hidden cost, every trophy polished by the time they lost. You can keep your mascot, keep your little show. I seen the bookie signs and the dominoes. One day truth knocks hard, one day lights go cold, and every borrowed crown turns rustic gold. Ooh, the joke ain't funny when the check gets due and a room gets muddy. Ooh, yeah, that sound. That's the whole card house coming down. Not my circus, not my monkey, but I know all the clowns and they looking real spunky. Yeah, the AAU back in town, trying to game the system, trying to take the crown. They want that viral dance and the flash, but they can't move right, they just want the cash. Yeah, they prance, yeah, they play, while the real ones rise every single day. Not my circus, not my monkey. Let the clowns talk loud. The truth stays.